Today we're going to be going over my speech for public speaking. I chose the dedicated speech because I feel as if that was the one that kind of called my name a little bit. The person I'm doing my speech over was my middle school history teacher as well as my middle school basketball teacher, or coach, sorry. But the reason I picked Mr. Ingram or Coach Ingram to me and all the other people who were on the team was because I really did like the way he taught, and I felt like he was a really good teacher and had a lot of passion for it. But for basketball, obviously, we were a pretty alright team. We didn't do that bad. I think we only lost a couple games. But the way he was a coach was pretty interesting. He wasn't really a traditional coach. He never really we didn't really condition how you regularly would. Meaning that we didn't like run just to run. The way we conditioned, we like either played these games in like groups of probably 10 or 15 or whatever, groups of 4 or 5, and whoever lost the game had to run or condition or do something like that. Or we would just straight up play like 5-on-5 basketball for conditioning all practice, like from 3:30 to like whenever practice got over, about 5:30. So that was interesting. That was always really fun that we didn't have to run necessarily, especially talking to the other girls team about it. This is Mr. Ingram right here. I know it's not the best picture, but it's what I could find of him. So, as I was saying, he wasn't really kind of a traditional coach at all, but we all really liked the way he coaches. He coached, my fault. But he also, the same way he had an interesting style of coaching basketball, he also had a very interesting style of teaching. He was a really laid-back teacher, and we obviously all really like really laid-back teachers that let you sit on your phone, or you just watch movies all the time or whatever. But he wasn't laid back like that. He was laid back in the way he was just kind of relaxed. So, and what I mean by that is he would let us watch, like, I think we watched like 4 or 5 movies throughout the year. But in those movies, they were all pretty educational, and I think we all really liked them. I've even gone back and watched 1 or 2 of them. Like, one of them was The Patriot, and that's obviously about history, so we had to watch it. So we watched that, and I think that was a really fun movie to watch. It took us like 3 or 4 days in class, which obviously means we didn't have to do any work. But when we did have to do work, he made it kind of fun, and it wasn't that bad for all of us to be like learning and stuff. So by that I mean, like, all of his assignments, none of us really got like bored. And when we did, after we like finished our assignments, like I said, he was a pretty laid back teacher. He just let us play games on our computers or be on our phones or whatever. So doing that, he was kind of a laid back teacher in general. So that was one of the reasons I really liked him for his teaching. But just besides that, it seemed like he had a passion for teaching too. He always told us that he didn't really like teaching history or always told us about how like he hated school growing up, which is, I don't really understand why he decided to be a teacher at all, and I still don't to this day. But he was really good at it. He was able to get his point across really easy without like boring the whole class or doing stuff like that. But back to like basketball season, or just like for now, we would always have these, like even just today, we were talking about like, we had one of those like remember when talks, just talking about like that 8th grade basketball team me and some of my teammates did, because that was really when we did have a lot of fun doing all that. So it always felt like kind of real basketball, and he always kind of let us do whatever. He wasn't really a traditional style of coach, like I said otherwise, but he let us do whatever we kind of wanted. And I really like that for him. Now he's not here at London anymore. He's at Hoisington, but I bet he's still doing the same amazing job he did here when we were in 8th and 7th grade coaching. He coaches football now, and I bet his history class is still just as fun. All in all, I kind of chose Mr. Ingram because I kind of emulate him as a person, so that it kind of helps doing that. But all right, thank you for listening. All right.